Good morning. Okay, I'll make another one. Touching on all subjects. Some of them more nastier than the others. I hope your autumn morning is going beautiful. This one is a little different. And the topic is this whole redistricting, gerrymandering, things that are going on in Washington, where they're turning around and playing around with the demographics of people for their own gain. And, this is kind of the gray area that we definitely never call them out on. Let's put it this way. They look at it based on census every 10 years for a political landscape. Okay? What you have had recently is someone wanted to do it out of that 10-year block. Okay? And if this administration had their way, they would do... He proposed an asinine idea of having a census every 5 years. Well, he obviously has no idea what it takes to do a census, so we're not going to even go down that road. But what I was going to say was, on the idea of redistricting, it's just not honorable. Okay? What they're doing is that they're using the demographics, they're using the people, they're using us for their own gain. They're playing with what is the norm standard just for their own gain, rather than just playing by rules. And a lot of it is because they because of their own fault, because of their own ability, or because they can't keep the votes. Okay, so a lot of it is because of their own problems. Okay, and because they're not getting the votes, they're not addressing issues like they're supposed to. They would rather spend the time and exhaust the energy playing with the landscape. That's what the whole crux of this is all about. And so it's just sad, and it needs to be addressed that way, but it never will be. I can't say it never will be, but it won't. I don't believe. We can elect people, but we the people really are the ones that have dropped the ball in some areas. There's a few topics I could bring up, but definitely that is one of them, where we have, I'll say, fat cats or whoever in Congress that would rather play the games than play the game. Would rather play with their own tenure and how to keep it, rather than to be of service. And that's the sad part of it. The real sad part of it. Because somehow they get into office. We could say that's because, I'm just saying it this way, because of the stupidity of the American public, not really caring, and it's a popularity thing. It's the ultimate political American Idol, But but a lot of it is that we don't hold them accountable. Even if we did look into who candidate 1 and candidate 2 is and decided, that's where it stops. We send them in the office, we send them in to go to work, and we turn around and walk off the steps of the Capitol and go on with our merry own lives. They get in there, and it is, and we've been told this for decades, it is a country club mentality, a group mentality. And if you're on one side or the other, it doesn't matter. There are a few times that you're going to, if you were a constituent, you are going to go head to head with the group. Because they want, there's a bunch of people that will be, they're not going to be independent for their own state. They're going to be more chummy. And if it's because of people giving them money, lobbyists or something like that, whatever it is, or being just chummy with another constituent, it's a sad state that if left unchecked, these are the problems that we run into coming down the road. We had you'll have one administration that will be trying their best to do something, and you'll have the other side of the aisle that refuse to even play the game or refuse to sit down and hash it out like the forefathers did. Our little format of saying you have 5 minutes to question or speak is kind of redundant, but it's the best that we got. The fact is that they need to reach across the aisle a hell of a lot more than turning their backs. Redistricting is another thing that they're doing so they don't have to reach across the aisle. They want rather screw around with the landscape and play us, we the people, as pawns instead of actually do the work that we hired them to do. That's what I needed to say. Hey, got nothing but love for you. I know, I get into these weird rants. Welcome to my life. Got nothing but love. Hope that you have a beautiful day.